Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Healthcare Education Transformation Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. F Scott Feil, and I'm bringing you another Teach Me Something Tuesday today. Before we dive into that, I just want to give you a heads up and let you know that we've been able to interview a couple of folks now over at the NPTE Final Frontier Group, one of our sponsors. And I have to say that those episodes have been amazing. It's been great to talk to those folks. If you are considering taking the NPTE exam anytime in the near future, or if you're teaching students that are about to take the NPTE exam, I would say go ahead and register for it through the NPTE Final Frontier. That's npteff.com. Use the code HET for 10% off all purchases. And now for today's episode of Teach Me Something Tuesday, we're going to talk a little bit about organizing information. This is something I learned in the EDD program I went through, and it was super important to me because it really showed me that I was not learning, right? I talk about this all the time, how I was really just a rote memorization guy. That's not learning, right? For me, the actual learning, the translation of knowledge came to be when I started looking at the bigger picture and taking that 30,000 foot view, zooming out and looking at the way things connected. The problem was I had to figure out a way to organize all that information that I was trying to put together and synthesize, right? So in order to kind of prevent confusion, new skills should really be learned in a way in which the new information stays organized mentally, right? Basically, you should kind of consider your brain to be like a computer, right? If you keep saving new files on the desktop, everything gets so jumbled up, you won't be able to link those related files or find what you're looking for, right? My desktop is a bit of a jumbled mess, but it's an organized chaos, so I'm okay with it. That's kind of how my mind works too. And I really had to start working on organizing the information that I was taking in. The same thing can kind of happen in your brain where you get just jumbled up messes of data that you have to sift through, right? You have to organize your brain in a way that there is a separate mental space for the new skill that you're trying to learn, right? Let's assume, you already know how to play chess, right? Now, if you were to learn a new game, a new board game, right? Like let's say Chinese checkers, let's say, there's a high chance that the brain might get confused with the way that chess works and the way that Chinese checkers works, right? The way that you can organize your brain so that the thoughts are all there and the learning process occurs just for learning Chinese checkers can kind of be done by spacing out the intake of new knowledge and the repetition of newly learned ideas, right? So the reinforcement of knowledge will do exactly what needs to be done inside your brain. So let's take that Chinese checkers, let's go over it time and time again, right? Repetition, repetition, repetition. And then let's zoom out again and look at the big picture like, hey, do we get this game, right? We understand all the little bits and pieces to the game and the movements that can be made and can't be made with the pieces. Now let's look at the whole big picture. Do we understand the game, the goal of how to win the game, and how can we go into a full dive on this game that doesn't exactly resemble chess? So we need to kind of keep them separated, right? So if you can do that, if you can create space to organize information that you're learning just for that one new task, I think that'll go a really long way with helping you retain a lot of information. So hope that was a helpful tip. Look forward to talking to you guys at next week's Teach Me Something Tuesday.